Hey guys, this is Trevor with PPRpix. I'm going to show you guys how to place an order with our ROES software that we have up here. Basically all you would do is just launch the software. You click the PPRpix desktop icon that you downloaded. Trying to keep it super simple for you right now. Any troubleshooting or detailed overview will be covered in another video. When you launch the software, you'll be brought to this home screen here. There's two ways you can move about the software to place an order. I'm going to start with this way, you would go to photo prints. You could also go to products up top here, but we're going to start here and I'll show you the other way in a second. This one seems to be less clicking, so you'd click photo prints and it takes you here. These are all the standard photo print papers. We'll choose luster, and everything else should be the same as far as this goes, whether you chose a fine art paper or photo paper. It doesn't matter. They're all going to function the same way here. If I were to go back, I'll go home, and we'd clicked that before. Instead, yeah, you could technically just click products, and it'll start out right here. But, you know, up at the top, you have this drop down next to sizes. And you'll just click luster or whatever paper surface you want over here, and right below it, of course, is all the fine art papers, and you know, of course, there's all our other products too. Okay, so here we are back on luster. Now on this view it's a little bit different, but all this is pulling us to the surface info page, so you can get all the information you want out of the product. So what we'll do is you can go to all sizes if you want to pick a custom size, or not sure if it's standard or not, but a lot of people go to popular sizes, and you can just pick the size you want. For now I'm going to keep it simple with 4x6, and you can choose that now, or you can choose that after you load the images in, which we're going to go ahead and do now. So I'll hit add images here. You want to pick the location, the folder location. See, it says select a folder of images, so not the images itself, but the folder the images are in. So it's always helpful to go ahead and throw all the photos that you might want to order into one folder before you get started here. But I already have a location in mind, so I'm going to go ahead and do that and click open. And here's all those photos. One thing you want to do, especially on a Mac, is maximize the window, because these panes here can cover up important things if it's not maximized. So we have photos here. I'll just pick one. Let's just say this couple. Oh, they already have a border. Let's pick this one. And see how I'm moving it along the page? So you would drag and drop it onto the screen like I did there. And your mouse kind of turns into a hand here. So you'll click. And when you click, as you're dragging, you'll see some of the image kind of seeping through the gray there. That gives you an idea how much you're cropping out of your photo. And once you let go, it disappears. You can also notice that there's some options that appear down here, and they only appear once you've clicked on the image. As soon as I move away, it's gone, and it doesn't come back unless I click the photo again. And then this will allow you, this option here says crop or fit. That's if you don't want to cut out any of those sides. You can click that button and it fits it onto a 4x6 piece of paper, so there's a little bit of extra white. If you want to crop and zoom in, then you'll want to make sure you're not on fit, so we'll take it off of fit, and let's center it up a little bit. And basically you have this slider here that you can slide to zoom in. You can also use your mouse wheel to get a little more minute zooming. So that's what I'm doing here. And then when you got it right, you'll go down here, choose the quantity. I'm just going to say 5. And then you'll hit add to cart. Over here you have options. If yours doesn't look quite like mine, then you can use these buttons to make it that way, or you could change it however you want. So I'll press this one and it moves it over to here. So I have the sizes and the options over here, and I got more real estate for the photo. You could resize these images here, make them real small, make them big if it's hard to see. Click that one and it'll move the photos to the left side. Some people prefer that. but I like to have the options on the right. Let's just say for fun I want to make this black and white, and just to show you a little bit of everything, I'll say 2mm styrene. So I'm getting this turned black and white here, and then I'm also mounting it to a sheet of styrene. So I'll go ahead and add it to the cart, and you can view cart here, or you can go up here to view the cart. Yeah, so I'll view cart, and it shows the one photo that we ordered, but we got it black and white. We've got the styrene there. This pencil here is if you want to go back and edit the photo. This is to remove it. You see up here under options, we always have at the top the estimated ready time. That we usually stick to pretty hard. So a lot of times we get orders done sooner than that, but we use that as our guideline to make sure we have everything ready on time. So if you're expecting sooner, then you definitely want to click here under special instructions and tell us you want it sooner than that, or tell us what time you want, and we can, charge the appropriate rush charge if needed. But yeah, as a rule of thumb, I would just always expect the time here is going to be the time that it's going to be ready. Image adjustments. Basically, that's just if you want us to adjust the images, you can't pick it for just one photo. It has to be for the whole order, because we'll be opening the order and looking at all the images, and the bare minimum on that is for us to just look at the images and make sure the resolution looks good. But a lot of times people want us to adjust the image, so you order that and we'll adjust the overall image where it's contrast, brightness, all that stuff. So if you wanted something a little more detailed than that, or more photoshopping type retouching, we can do that too. It's just a different charge over image adjust, and you can always put that in special instructions too if you wanted. The reference field here, you can check that box, and this is really more for your own reference. So if you want to put somebody's name in there so that you can remember, oh, this is the order for that client, it'll be on all your invoices, emails, everything. So you'll have a nice little tag here for yourself. So that can be helpful. And then you can always go back and continue shopping to do more stuff. We have the blinky checkout button, which we'll get to in just a second. But you also have this save for later. It doesn't quite look like a button, but it actually is. If you're working on something in your cart here and you're not quite ready to check out, you got to go somewhere, go to a meeting, whatever, you could just save it and come back to it later just to make sure it's good. So you'll click save for later. A text field appears. I'll just say test and press enter. Make sure you press enter or return to save it, and it'll say that's saved. That means it's saved. You don't see it do anything else right now, but if I were to go to the tab that says uploads and saves here under the saved carts, you'll see it. Actually, there was an old one here. I'll just remove that one. Here's our current one. I could go back and open it and start working again, but I'm actually already have it open, so I don't have to worry about it. That pretty much covers that, so we'll go to checkout. And here's a bunch of phony information, but you'll fill it out correctly. If you're tax exempt, you'll check that. You'll type in your tax exempt ID, and if it's your first time doing it, then bring us a paper of your tax documents, or you can always fax it to us if you're not local. And then that'll be the only time you have to do that. You can leave all this, the tax ID. It'll save all that the next time you order, so you don't have to worry about it. And then we'll go to next. You've got the option to pick up here, ship to you, ship to your client, overnight to you, and overnight to your client. The differences there aren't really that much. It just helps us know that it is a drop ship order. For the most part, even if you said ship to me and the address where it's going and name is different from your address and your name, we're going to automatically drop ship it. We don't like to play around with that, and with shipping in general, we don't include invoices, but when we do drop ship to a client, you'll have we put your return name. We do have our return address, but we do that because in case there were an issue with a shipping order, UPS will send it back to us and we can correct the order and get it right back out, much quicker than it would if it went to you and then you came back to us and all that sort of stuff. But your name is on there, our name is not on there or anything when you do drop ship to a client. So for now, I'm going to choose pick up here, or actually I'll say ship to me so you can see what the shipping information looks like. We definitely only do continental US, so unfortunately we can't do Hawaii or Alaska, but while you can type a PO box up here, please don't, because we actually just can't ship to one. So just a regular street address, a business address, anything like that is good. I'm going to go back for now and choose pick up here. Yeah, and here's all the credit card information. You can click this to save it. It'll save everything except for your security code. The only thing is, though, it's nice to have it saved, and it is double encrypted, so you shouldn't have to worry about any issues there. But if you can, please make sure that you type the correct security code, because we've had numerous times where all the information is filled out and it doesn't pre-fill out the security code. You have to type it in each time, and a lot of times people will guess at it and it'll let them check out and everything seems just fine, but by the time we get it, it has a payment error, and there's work to be done to try to recover the order, to get started on it, and just to prevent any sort of delays on ready times, just try to make sure you type that number correctly. So yeah, actually, since I had a very small order, we barely got to even see the loading bar up here. It takes you to this screen in the background, but you'll see go to uploads, and that's the same place that it's going to take you. You can show the receipt, and it's got kind of like the cart screen was, but it's like a PDF, a printer friendly version of your entire order. But we'll go to uploads, because when you place an order, especially if you have a lot of photos, you'll want to make sure right here there'll be a green loading bar. Before you close the program, you want to make sure it says sent thank you on the top order, because that'll be your most recent order. If you ever want to in the future, you can always reopen it as a new order if you need to modify it or make changes. You can look at that receipt again, which is the same thing like the cart screen was over here, except the printer friendly version. And that's it, really. And if you didn't want to have to pay attention to that bar, sometimes people just leave the software up. They just walk away from the computer or just minimize it. And I got all these windows open. But yeah, that concludes it. As always, thank you for choosing PPRpix, and we'll talk to you next time. Thanks.